right here on KAZ Radio, where we have one of the hottest shows that normally come on at 4:15 on Sundays, but today we're coming on at 4:30. I'll let her explain it, none other than my friend and yours, Lady Gilmore. And Grant Gilmore, how are you guys doing today? Oh, man. Take it away, Lady Gilmore.
All right now. Peace and good day, my brothers and sisters. Peace, peace, peace. I'm so excited today. First of all, let me thank you all for the wonderful support that you have given Queen on the Scene, your host, Lady Gilmore. Not only down through the years, but just giving me the utmost support, and I appreciate it. But today is going to be a historical day to me. This handsome gentleman on my right, 46 years ago, the Lord allowed me to bring forth a son. Well, not me and my husband, to bring forth a son. And we're so excited. Grant decided to come to Cleveland, Ohio, all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina, to spend his birthday with his mom and his dad. And for that, I'm grateful. And while I was praying, I not only prayed for traveling mercy for my baby, but everybody else's child that was there on that airplane to land it safe in the city of Cleveland.
Amen.
But we getting ready to flip the script. My son, Grant Eldridge Gilmore, comedian, designer, Mr. Bowtie, is going to interview his mom today. And to all the mothers, I've already talked with him, okay? So we're going to be all right. All right, son, take it away.
Well, thank you, Ma. You always say my middle name. I hate when you say my middle name. But this is my mom. I get the opportunity to interview her and ask her some questions. And we had to talk, and my mom said, hey, ask me things from your heart. So my mom has always taught me that when you get in a situation, you always recite Psalm 23. So I probably recited it about 23 times myself. So I'm sitting here next to my mom. I love my mom. I really do. I miss her. I miss her a lot. I miss her and my dad. So I'm going to hold things. One of the questions I've always wanted to ask you, Lady Gilmore,
Yes.
what is it that you would like, what type of legacy would you like to leave here, as far as being here now, or when God says he calls you on? What would you want to leave here and want people to remember you by?
Well, son, what your mom want to leave here, I love my children. I love my babies. I have children of all ages, colors, etc., etc. I want to be able to leave that legacy that what you do for Christ will last. And if you allow the Lord to order your steps, let him order it. I guarantee you the angels will come, cover you, support you, protect you, but you have to put God first. And in that legacy, I share with everyone, son, that I want no proclamations, no resolutions. When the Lord called me home, just put my babies up and let my babies share the legacy that I have left and shared and taught them all these years, such as you.
Amen.
You've been coming to the radio station since you was a little boy. The same way I did when I was a little girl. I went to the radio station with my daddy, and you've been coming to the radio station with your mother. And we want to leave some back here for our children to grab a hold of. Our ancestors, our trailblazers, our patriarchs, matriarchs, such as your aunt today. We were running a little late because we took time on our busy schedule to go by and see your Aunt Piggy. 88 years old.
And she doesn't look it.
She doesn't look it. But let's share some of the stories Aunt Piggy shared today, how she remembered you.
Oh, wow. She remembered when my uncle was living, my Uncle Malone. He was the skinniest thing, and he always wanted to wrestle me. And he would wrestle me, and she would say, Malone, you hurting him. And I would just be laughing and laughing because that was a thing that our ancestors, our for people back then, that's what they did. They spent a lot of time with the nieces and the nephews, and they passed on a lot. So my Aunt Piggy and my Aunt Malone and my Aunt Vicky and my Uncle Bernard, my Uncle Kenny, my Uncle Al, they all passed on things to me. So I have a lot of souls that are involved in me being raised. But I want to ask you a question. And,
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people ask me this all the time, and I get to say it and ask it to you. Why do you smile so much? Every time you talk, you smile so much. I want the world, because I smile a lot. So I want you to tell everybody, when you speak, why do you smile so much?
Because I am happy.
Mm-hmm.
My daddy and my mama said that smile would take you a long way, because you don't know that person that you're meeting, and you greet them with a smile. Mama used to say, it might be someone that may have a donation for the cause that you are fighting for.
Amen.
And nobody wants to be around someone that is frowning all the time. And it's true, because when I'm happy, and I may meet some of you all that's going through different things, and you see the smile, and then you'll say, oh, it's not as bad as I thought. Being a veteran of customer service, I've been in customer service since I was 8 years old. And my daddy wrote a script out for me to say over the phone, because we had a family business. And I would read it word for word. And one man cut me off. I said, no, you can't cut me off. And I'm still smiling. Daddy used to say, they can see you through the phone smiling. And he chuckled and let me continue reading my script. But that smile, that's energy that we're passing on, such as yourself.
Yeah, amen.
Going to be 46 about 2 o'clock this morning. I mean, tomorrow morning. And it's the smile.
Yes.
And who wants to talk and be with someone that's frowning? Who wants to do that?
No one. You said something that just touched me just a minute ago. My mom's dad, Big Daddy, his name was Al Evans. He also gave me a script when I was I think I was 5 years old. He had 2 phones that he had on the kitchen table. And he used to tell me, if the phone rings, I want you to answer it, and I want you to take a message. So I'm saying to you all, and I'm saying to the world out there, that at 5 years old, he taught me how to answer the phone. And I can still remember, we're talking about some 41 years ago. He used to tell me to say, Northern Ohio Asphalt, Grant Gilmore speaking, can I help you? Now, the crazy thing about this is his clients did not know that a 5-year-old was picking up the phone. When he would go to his client's home to talk to them about business, he would always say, this is my grandson, Grant Gilmore. And they would say, is this the young man that answered the phone? And he would say, yes. He doesn't sound like a little kid. So I know that by you saying that, not only did, your father, my Big Daddy, had a lot of influence on you, he had a lot of influence on me as well. I never knew, being with him, that he taught me customer service. Some of the things that I do today, I don't, I can't say someone's name without calling them Mr.
Amen.
And a lot of people like, why do you call me Mr. So-and-so? Because my grandfather would not let me say someone's name without saying Mr. So let me ask you a question. I don't want to get into me.
Oh, we
we
have a caller.
We have a
All
caller.
right.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, is this Lady Gilmore?
Yes.
Yay!
Hey, thank you for
This
calling.
is Pastor Kathy, yes.
Oh, this is Sister Kathy.
Hi, Sister Kathy.
Hello.
Hi.
I
Tell
wanted
Sister
to
Kathy what a
send
pleasure it
greetings.
was to meet for you to meet her yesterday.
It was a pleasure to meet you yesterday.
It was a pleasure to see you and meet you yesterday too.
Sister Kathy, wasn't that a wonderful celebration that we were at
Well,
was.
yes,
It was.
and anything that Brenda Parks does is always amazing.
Amen.
So
Amen.
I was like so happy. I'd never been there before. Heard about it, but I was never able to attend. And Miss Parks arranged for me to be there, and I thought, this is just, I don't know. I saw you. I saw so many people that I hadn't seen. I was just saying to my apostle, my husband, other people that I'd seen that I hadn't seen for years.
Yes.
And it was amazing just to see. There must have been, oh my.
Yeah, Sister
at
Kathy,
least
it's almost like a
500-600
family
people.
reunion,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
And they have all these wonderful vendors, and
Yes.
you just had a great time. And then the speakers were amazing, and
Oh,
of course
my
Karen Butler
goodness.
did amazing, and
Amazing.
Greg Peterson is always amazing. So and what was his name? Devon Williams, the comedian.
Yes.
Yeah, you talking about
pretty
Damon? You talking about Damon?
Yeah.
Damon Williams, yeah.
He was amazing
He
too.
really
he was
was.
so
He really
funny.
Oh, and he was funny, a clean funny, because my
Yeah,
son
he was
Brett
clean.
is also a comedian.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am. And you know me,
not know
Sister
that.
Kathy. You know what his instructions were.
Yes.
Okay. Clean, nice, and sweet.
Yes.
Yes.
Clean,
So,
nice,
Sister
and
Kathy,
sweet.
how are you enjoying the show today with my son interviewing me?
I love it. I love the little change up here, because usually it's the other way around.
Yes.
So this is a real treat for our viewers.
All right. And you're a treat too, my sister. I love you so much.
Aw,
I love you
I
too.
love you back.
Okay.
I love you too. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out, and I'm home cooking, so I just wanted to let you know you were on my mind.
Thank you, sis. Love you much.
Thank
I
you.
love you too.
Okay.
Okay.
Peace.
All right.
Isn't that something?
That's something. That's
We
something.
just seen Sister Kathy yesterday.
Just seen it
But
yesterday.
you spoke about the telephones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Daddy cut it in half when he had me answering the phones at 8 years old. Your mother.
Mm-hmm.
We had a red, black, beige, and white phone.
Now I'm gonna. We weren't talking about these new phones. We were talking about the old phones that you press. I'm saying my age, but you already know. But we talking about the little touch phones,
Okay.
or the run phones like
Well,
that.
you're talking about the touch phone
Right.
with your generation. But with my generation, you had to take your fingers
Right.
and dial it. Put your fingers in these little circles.
Yeah, I remember that.
Rotary dial.
Thank you. Rotary dial.
And if you messed up, you had to start all over
you had
again.
to start all over again. So could you imagine at 8 years old, had 4 different phones, 4 different scripts that had to be read. And I had to know when that phone rung what to say. And Daddy used to say, one day, this is going to make a living for you. One day you're going to be able to take what I'm teaching you now. I know you want to be outside playing. I know you want to play with your baby dolls. You're an older, but you won't be doing it today. And then come some 20-some years later, my daddy, your grandfather, Big Daddy, he took it from 4 phones to 2 phones.
Sure did.
Now, isn't that cute? 4 to 2. But look what it has done and how it has brought us. And we dare not leave out my mama. Because mama told me, learn what your daddy teaching you. Your daddy know what he's talking about.
You mentioned Big Mama. Okay, I'm saying Big Mama. I'm talking about my mom's mom. I called her Big Mama. Now, this is before the name got so popular where it's on TV and everything. I remember, she used to take me with her to the thrift store. And I'm gonna ask you this question. Who was more of an influence on your life? Was it Big Mama or Big Daddy or both?
It was both because Mom and Daddy came from the South. And Daddy said none of his children would mop a floor. none of his children would sweep a floor. None of his children would do any washing, because mama, you would know, to make ends meet before the business start taking off to make money, mama would wash and iron people's clothes. At that time, they were called domestic workers.
Right.
And they would bring the clothes to our home. And at nighttime, like I said, mama would wash them and she would iron them. And daddy used to say, one day you won't have to do this, honey. But her and Jesus, I can hear her now singing Near the Cross. You remember, mama, Amazing Grace. Look where he brought me from. And mama would just have that iron going. At that time, your generation had spray starch. We had Argo starch, and it was in a white and blue box. And mama would boil she would boil the water till it got hot, and you pour this starch in there, and you stir it up till it got thick. And when it cooled off, you would put the clothes in there, and then you would have a basin for the clothes to go in, and a tub. Let me use the word tub, and with cold water to rinse them out. And they would be stiff when they dry, and mama would iron it. So that's why daddy said that his children would never have to do this. And my mama would leave early in the morning after she did this all night. I don't know what time she went to bed, but to go to her job. And at that time, she would go to people's homes and work. And my mama said this is something that her children would never do. See, when your mama, me, was coming up, we sat at the table. We ate breakfast together, we ate lunch together, and we had dinner together. Before we went to school, daddy said this was important to your mama. He said, she's going to pray over everybody, so we just going to all be at the table. So that's why it's both of my parents, and they instilled in us. Daddy said, your mama say, as in my house, we going to serve the Lord. Daddy said, as in my house, everybody going to get a diploma. So back then, when I was coming up, a diploma carried weight like a college degree does.
Exactly.
So that's why when you came along and started going to school, daddy would tell you, as in my house, you would go to school, college, or trade school.
Right.
So having such strong parents to teach us, and I was able, along with your daddy, because we dare not leave out your other grandparents.
That's right.
Which were great people that came from the South as well. And they used to say the same thing. They didn't want that life for us or for you. So that's why.
It's you mentioned Big Mama. I used to watch her, and she would be sewing. And I would bug her. And I said, Big Mama, would you teach me? And she would just be humming and just sewing, and she would be the crease on those pants that she did for my grandfather. I still to this day have never seen crease like that. So I would ask her. That's how I got into fashion design and sewing. She said, I'm gonna teach you how to do it, and she started teaching me how to do it by hand.
At 4 years old.
At 4 years old, and I watched her hem pants, and at that point, that's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do was sew. But here's the thing. I was blessed because I would go from one grandparent's house who was teaching me how to sew and how to hem, and I'd go over another grandmother's house, and she would teach me. She would say, she would have a pillow. She said, I can fix that. I would, and then I found out she would do it. She was doing interior design, and she was showing me. I lost both of them at a young, I'd say when I was younger, but both of them made me promise that I would do something good with what they taught me, and I would go back to school. The last words that my grandmother said, this was a couple years ago. Now, mind you, the doctors told her she has Alzheimer's. She can't remember anything. I picked up the phone, I called her. She knew my voice. She used to call me her big fat boy. She said, "Is this big fat boy on the phone?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "What are you doing?" And I was reluctant to say what I was doing because I think she wouldn't remember me. I said, "I'm making some bow ties." You know, they called me the bow tie guy. So I was making some bow ties, and she said, "You know, I taught you how to do that." And I said, "Okay." And she said, "You keep doing what you're doing. And you promised me you're going to do something good. You're going to go to school." About a month or two later, she passed. But they said and I sent her a little
you
pouch.
made her a coin purse.
I made her a coin purse. And I found out that she had a fit about that coin purse because she didn't want anybody to move it. And she said, "My grandson made this." And they would say, "Well, it's nothing in it. I don't care. I have to have it. I have to have it." So my point is that then our parents and things, they had such a big influence on us. Do you think that, I'm asking you a question, do you think that is being lost in the days of now in this century, that a lot of people, a lot of kids don't have that influence, so they do some of the things that they do? Do you think that?
Somewhat. See, it's just like planting. We had a garden when we was coming up. And when you plant that little bitty seed and you nurture it, you water it, I remember Mama used to weed it out, and you do this and do that, and for that plant to turn into collard greens, those seeds to turn into collard greens, tomatoes, cucumbers, etc. That's how our lives are. If you have a mother and a father that want to plant that seed, like Mama and Daddy, you're going to go to school, you're going to get education, you're going to get a degree. I understand from what a lot of people share with me that I don't look my age, I don't look like I'm a grandmother, but I am. And I like the fact that my grandchildren call me grandma. In this century, this century they want to be called G-mommy, all of the different other names instead of grandma. So it makes a little difference. It depends on the parents. See, what we put in you is going to surface sooner or later, because like I said earlier, it has to be cultivated. We constantly told you, you're going to school, you're going to be doing this, you're going to do that, and please, if you plan on living, don't even think about selling drugs, don't think about getting in gangs. If you're planning on living, don't do these things. And it wasn't that we put fear in you, but we taught you how to respect yourself. And it's all about respect. So some of our parents and grandparents, nobody's the same. You know, look at the hair on your head. You have a nice grade of hair. Some of it's curly, some of it's not. Some of it's doing this, and this is how the different times is now. And I always speak as if I'm talking to my children, because we want them to understand. Whoever the person is, this is what it will be. When you had Quentin, when I became a grandmother, me and your daddy, we had to shift that. So I'm so excited. We have another call.
Go ahead, caller.
Is it me?
It's you. You're the caller.
All right now, what a blessing this is to hear the gifted Gilmore. That's my new title for your team. Gilmore. This is Sister Joyce. Listen, this is just so amazing to sit up here and listen to the legacy talking to her legacy. I'm so excited. I've watched this over the years. Grant, as you have absorbed both of the spirits of both of your parents.
Amen.
And I'm
Amen.
so excited to hear this, listening to her talk and watching you show all the talent you have inherited from both of your parents. This is just so exciting. I love and adore your entire family.
I love you
your
too,
mom
Auntie.
she has proven to so many that you can do whatever. Follow your dreams.
That's it.
Thank you so much. My mom and my dad, they have such a big influence on me. I never knew.
Yeah.
I never knew. I believe everybody in America know who my parents is because I quote everything they've ever said to me. If I don't know where, I don't care where I'm at. I said, my dad always said, and some people go, you know what? I think I know everything your father said because you say it all the time. But I'm just gonna say it again. My dad always said to me, he says, son, as you get older, you're going to remember everything me and your mother said. You may not understand it, you may hate us for it, but you are going to remember, and you know what? You're going to appreciate it. And I appreciate both of them because I can stand here and I can say I've never been to prison.
Praise
I
God.
don't have a record.
Praise God.
Because my parents used to say to me all the time, and I say it to my kids,
Children.
be a name and not a number.
Ooh, for real.
I say that to kids and they go, what does that mean? When you are a number, you are in the system. When you are a name, you are in the world. So it's a big difference. And I say it all the time. All the time.
Exactly. And I had to say this. This came up earlier today in another case, but I see it here. Exodus 20:12 about honoring your mother and father, and you shall live a long life.
That's right.
And again, I'm so proud of you.
Thank
and
you.
And you too. I noticed yesterday I had the opportunity to be with a lot of your family members, but your legacy, your son. And I know right now you don't see it, but he will pick up these fantastic, positive things that the legacy is passing on.
Oh, man.
It'll happen.
I know.
Thank you, sis.
Thank you
Love
so
you
much.
so
Amen.
much.
Thank
Amen.
you
Thank
so
you.
Love
much.
you too, and I'm going to go because I want to hear more of this history. God bless you both and love you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bless the Lord.
Thank
Bless
you
the
so
Lord.
much.
Bless
You know, speaking of Grant's birthday, my birthday's coming August 25th. If you want to take me to Zanzibar, feel free. And if you want to pin some money on my chest, feel free, Mama Gilmore.
You know what? A friend of mine runs that restaurant, and I knew him since we were kids.
Wow.
And he always talked about it. As a matter of fact, I used to work for him at he had a clothing store, and we used to talk all the time. And he used to say, "Grant, follow your dream." He said, "Now my mom has a restaurant already, and I used to eat the food all the time, Angie's." And he used to say, "Grant, don't worry about lunch. I'm gonna get some food for my mom's." And I said, I'm a big dude, but I don't be eating everybody's food. He said, "Grant, you love my food." And he brought it, and I ate it. And when I was there yesterday, I actually got a chance to talk to him. I told him, when that's something that I learned from my parents. When someone is doing something positive,
Yes, sir.
let's put that up here instead of always, well, he did this. Let's put it up here. So when another man, and my dad always said, he said, be man enough to, and I'm always quoting my parents, I'm sorry, but he said, be man enough to say, son, that somebody's doing good.
That's
so
right.
when I spoke to him, his name is Akeem. When I spoke to him yesterday, I said, brother, I'm really proud of you. He said, well, I appreciate that, man. And I think that coming from me meant a lot to him because I saw him when he didn't have the restaurant. I saw him when he was struggling. And to see him do that, it just shows that if I can continue the legacy that my grandparents left if I just push forward and keep doing what we're doing. Just keep praying and stuff. So you can go up there. The food's good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've had it before. Oh, I loved it.
Food is delicious. Food is
And
delicious.
you know what? It's back to the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I met my son that came through, my son Grant.
Mm-hmm.
I called. Everybody was saying, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I said, well, you know I believe in supporting my own.
Yeah.
So let me give a call. So I called him. And before I could leave the message, Akeem called me back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to leave the message, and he called back because he recognized my number. First thing he said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to hear from you. How are you? How's Grant? We're, meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, son, no, I want to ask you something. I said, Grant's coming in, and we want to do a celebration at Zanzibar. He's like, really? I said, really?
Mm-hmm.
Said, now I want to make a reservation for 20 people. I don't know how many is coming because they're going to stop by this and that. He said, I'll take care of it. He said, I remember how you support my business.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you, Grant, and your husband support my business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Like you just said, Grant, all of my businesses is named Follow Your Dreams because my daddy used to tell me, follow your dreams.
Follow your dream.
Don't worry about if nobody accept the dream because the dream wasn't given to them.
Exactly.
It was given to you. Daddy said, follow it. And Akeem told me the other day, he said, and I remember you saying that, and I took that up. See, it's a mantle. It's a baton that we got to pass.
That's right.
So with his business being so successful through the grace of God, and he hasn't forgotten, he's always talking about his mama, how he learned it from, the business, the cooking and all that from his mama. And you asked me in the beginning of the show, and that's what it's about. Support, support, support. Support one another. Build me up. The utilities companies is bringing me down. As soon, I just told my husband, it looked like we just paid the light and the gas and the water bill. Not that we on a monthly thing. And it's right here. So we need to build each other's up. And like Mama used to say, when the Lord give it to you, when he give it to you, he's going to order your steps.
That's right.
And it is going to be a blessing and not a curse. And beware of what people say.
Yeah.
Daddy said, follow your dreams. And the Lord is going to bless our son Akeem. I'm telling you, his staff was calling me, emailing me, because Akeem said Lady Gilmore is coming.
That's right.
Now that's the legacy. What we used to tell you about that name?
That the legacy continues.
It's going to continue. But what did we tell you about the name and the number? Because we need to say that again.
Wow, I'm trying. You put me on the spot. I just forgot right there.
Well, it's called, you about to be 46. It's called
it's my memory.
A season moment.
My memory is a
yeah,
season
it's called
moment.
a little season seeing. What a name versus number.
Name versus number.
Yes,
Name
yes,
versus
yes,
number.
yes. And we're, I'm so honored. I mean, I've been interviewed by so many people and crossed my path to one of my wonderful sisters, Dr. Yvonne Porter. She stopped by yesterday. No, she stopped by and stayed by.
Yeah, she sure did.
And we were talking about the interview. And when I told her that you were going to interview, I said, my son's going to interview me tomorrow. And I'm excited about that.
I'm glad.
Because the only way that I can pass the torch, keep it lit, is to give it to you and be quiet. Delegate. Daddy said, learn how to delegate. Learn how to watch the person's mannerism, business ethics.
Yeah.
And God will show you whether I should trust my legacy in your hands.
And not always, and I'm going to piggyback on it. Akeem, I'm mentioning Akeem because he doesn't know how much of an influence he's been in my life. where, you always get yourself down. People tell, oh, you can't do it. You can't do it. I've been watching Akeem in his dream for about 17 years. Akeem told me, he said, Grant, if you ever need anything, call me. Now, I'm going to say this to all the viewers. When a person says that, that does not mean call them and say, I need money, I need this, I need that. It means encouragement. So all these years, I didn't call Akeem, but I watched him and I prayed for him. And I said, you know what? I don't want what he has. What I want is more of his, watching him, I can say to myself, I can do the same thing.
Absolutely.
So he would always say to my mom, why don't Grant call me? Akeem, I'm going to say this to you. I didn't call you, sir, because I didn't want to be a person, I want. You were already giving it to me without even saying anything to me. And I knew it would be a time where we would talk and sit down and we could talk, but I'm very proud of you. I'm just probably one of your friends that trust you and trust what you've done, but I just didn't really want anything. You could give somebody money and things like that, but I think your friendship and what you're doing is just a little bit more to me than, oh man, let me come by and get some free food. Yeah. Or let me do. I said this was a little bit more. He has
bills to pay. Right. But you know what, son? Our time is winding up.
Oh wow, it's winding down.
Can you believe that?
Wow.
Can you believe that? This conversation. I can't believe it. Mom and Dad want to let you know how much we love you, we support you, and everybody look at, this is my baby.
Hey.
Look at my baby. He's lost 100 and some pounds on his own. He decided one day to stop eating all of this stuff.
No, I just wanted my father to be able to hug me without having to put his hands halfway. If you guys don't know my father, when you embrace him, he likes to put his arms around you. So last year he said, son, I can't put my arms around you. We're going to have to put the chicken down, son. Yeah. So I said, Dad, next time you see me, you're going to put your arms around me. And now he did. Love you, Dad. Love you, Mom.
Love you, too. And together, mother and son, we're going to say peace.
Peace.
And good day.
And good day.
Love you.
Love you, my brother, and love you, my sister.